little record on this computer. Ricky Bone, thanks for coming through. User 542467, thanks for coming through. We are about to get live with it, about to get active with it. And let's just see. I feel like the internet is already being shaky, but it's all good. We're about to get this started. We're about to get it started. All right, so you know that we like to do the disclaimer and whatnot. And then once we read the disclaimer and the disclosure, we could go ahead and get popping when it comes to the trade of the day, the recap of the day. So let me move this over just a little bit, but let's kick it off. Okay, so please note that the following is not legal or financial advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, y'all. So we can run it up. We can run it up. And let's get into a trade recap. So if you're new to my TikTok, if you're new to my live stream, my name is Curtis G. And what I like to do is I like to focus on trading recaps and trade breakdowns for beginners. So I definitely like to tailor my content to the beginner audience. And so what I want to do, as you guys already know, I like to come into my Discord to show you guys what I charted out. The name of the Discord is Passive Income University. And then I'm going to go to the trading chat room. And then today, just before the market opens, I'm always happy when I can do this before the market opens because it gives the community the opportunity to ask me questions, to look at the rationale, to see what I'm seeing. And my trading is pretty simple. So what I said was, good morning, got my eyes on Amazon, looking for it to come up to the target area for entry to take puts to the downside. Now, today, my entry was a bit bad. I chased a little bit, but I still was able to make some profit. So this is what the chart looked like. This is Amazon on the 30-minute chart. So we see it's been kind of operating in this kind of pattern where it comes down to the support area, bounce up, come down, bounce up, comes down, bounces up. It kind of gets in this area and comes on down. I charted this would be my target area for Amazon to come to get into potential puts. To get into potential puts. I see everybody coming through. Gray, Jonathan Rivera, thank you so much. Voltron, I see y'all. I see y'all. Let's take a look to see who's really the most active in the viewers. So Grave Robber, Yajira Santana, and Will Matthews. Thank y'all for coming through and rocking with me. But like I said, I was basically looking for Amazon to come through and get into this profit target area, not profit target, but this entry area. This was my entry area right here to take puts on Amazon. So I put this in the Discord before the market even opened up. And then we can go over to my exact trades. And what I said was right at 6:45, I got into those Amazon puts. And then I went ahead and I kept my profit very conservative. I just aimed for a 5% scalp. User 309 48 48 47. Thank you for the follow. But basically, because my entry was so bad and I didn't want to mess around with it, I went ahead and scalped at 5%. And that's typically my goal, right? If I'm doing a scalp, not a swing trade or not a longer term trade, if I'm just scalping to get in and out, I'm looking for a quick 5 to 10%. Now, I would have aimed for that more 10% side, but my entry was really, really bad. So let's bring up the live chart and let's just take a look right quick. Thank y'all for the likes. Yo, Will Matthews, thank you for the fingers. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all for the follows. Joseph Rivera, thanks for coming through. I see you. All right, so we're opening up TradingView. This is currently on Tesla. Let me go ahead and shrink it down so we can see everything the way that we need to see it in this little box here. I'm trying something different in terms of sharing my screen so it could be a bit better. But let's go over here to Amazon. All right, so this is how we played out for the day. Not the best for a scalp. For a scalp, it still played out. So I was patient this morning. That first candle came up here. Now I should have got in right when it got into this area, but I waited and I chased a little bit. So I ended up not getting in till about right here, which if we zoom this in, let me bring it over a little bit. Let's bring this over so we can get some pricing. so we can see the pricing a little bit. So here we go. This was the first candle of the day, right here where the cursor is at. I should have got in up here, right where I had charted it out, but I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted and I chased a little bit. So I ended up not getting into about down here. I had to wait for price to fight through all this. It finally dropped down a bit. And then, like I said, because my entry was so bad, or at least I thought it was bad because I chased, I went ahead and I kept it conservative and I took my 5% profits and I went ahead and got out, which is actually a good idea because after that, it seems like Amazon is trying to break this trend that has been developing on the downside. If we see this kind of pricing channel, look at what Amazon's been doing since June 11th. So since June 11th, it's been kind of going in this downtrend, right? And it looks like today is finally ready to break through that and start an upward trend, but we shall see. But pretty straight, simple, straightforward trade. I keep my trades pretty simple for beginners. You're not gonna find something super intricate and complex with the way that I trade. It's just simple, straightforward, and conservative. All right, all right. Exodus says, take a look at NVDA. So we could take a look at NVDA for sure. Thank y'all for the likes. Thanks for running it up. Yo, Rachel, thank you for the like on the video. I appreciate that. I see you, Rachel B. So the interesting thing is with NVDA, it had this crazy gap up before the market opened. So before the market opened, which was right here, NVIDIA was way gapped up, way gapped up. Let's look at it on the daily chart first to see what happens. So look how crazy this is. It started way up here and just ran on down. Now, here's the thing, though. This is crazy. Here's the thing. If you were on my last live just a couple of days ago, I talked about that if NVIDIA came down to this area, just like I charted it out here, if NVIDIA came down to this area, I would look for a long hold, right? If you were to buy some shares, I would go ahead and enter in. And it wasn't that much of a drop, but it sure did come on down. Now, I know it's still like all-time highs. I know NVIDIA is still very expensive right now, but it did come to that short-term price that I was looking for to get into some longs, whether I got some calls way, way far out or you buy some shares, but you're going to have to hold through a little bit of pain, a little bit of volatility and some pullbacks, but it at least came down to that initial thing. So if you go to my YouTube channel, let me show y'all because I talked about it on my last published video. I talked about this on my last published video about NVIDIA coming down to that target. Will Matthews says, what brokerage do you recommend? So if you are a beginner, Will Matthews, if you are new to options trading, if you are a beginner, I would start with Webull. I would definitely start with Webull. So there is a lot of mechanics to it in terms of the desktop app and the mobile app. But once you get past the learning curve, there are so many tools in Webull that will help you execute your trades faster. Now, me, on the other hand, I kind of fortunately slash unfortunately started off with Robinhood when I first started my options trading. And of course, Robinhood is very, very easy to use. But what happens is, as you develop as a trader, at least in my experience, you're going to have a need for some of those more efficient tools that Robinhood doesn't have, like a trailing stop loss, things like that, like hotkeys. If you're trading on your computer, they have hotkeys to get you in and out of trades. So I would say definitely start with Webull, push yourself to get through the learning curve. It's not as easy at the beginning as Robinhood, but there's way more to offer than Robinhood. All right, Alexis says, think it's going to go back up to 140 by tomorrow. If not, one of my calls is washed. I don't know, man. I think they gapped it up for a reason. I think it gapped it up for a reason. Let me go and show y'all my YouTube channel. Give me just a moment right quick, just to show you the video where I talked about it. So if you go look at this particular video right here on my YouTube channel, my trading recap on how I traded Walmart, I did talk about NVIDIA coming down to the price that it's at now. But remember, let me give you this little disclaimer to Exilus days. The name of the game isn't to try to predict uh stock pricing or your options, right? And I know it's very hard to do that because we're doing technical analysis and we're trying to get into our trades based off of that technical analysis. But one thing that is really helping me is just keep in mind we don't want to predict, we just want to respond to what is happening. And so I know that seems a little counterintuitive or whatever, but we do have a gap down here to the downside that still needs to be filled or closed. Now, you will hear me say on my other videos and my other lives, I am now developing this theory where I feel like gaps are also illustrations of where price doesn't want to be. right? So we see this gap up from June 12th to June 13th. And then look, every day after that, price just doesn't want to be there. We know that eventually it'll want to come back and feel it. But for the most part, this is going to act as some type of support and resistance, at least in my experience. Now, to your question, do I think it's going to go back up to 140? I can't say. I definitely, I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. You'll hear me say this on my lives. I think they gapped it up so far in the morning today so that they can let the market makers and those people take profits, and they're going to just run it down to kind of rebalance it to come down and close this gap. There even appears to be another one right down here from June 11th to going into June 12th. So we might see two gap closes before we see a continuation back up to the upside. But that's just my thoughts. I can't necessarily tell you what to do. This is just what my eyes see. Yes, indeed. All right. Will Matthews, 95 Glizzy says, nice advice. I appreciate that. Thank you, my guy. And I appreciate all y'all for running up the likes for sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, like I said, if you wanted to see that analysis that I did on NVIDIA before it happened today, you can come to my YouTube channel, check out this video for June 18th, which is where after I go over my Walmart trade, I went into breaking down NVIDIA. All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna do it. If you just now joined the live, I'm gonna go back and explain it one more time for today's trade, which was Amazon. I'll go to the Discord. I'll show y'all exactly what I was talking about, where I said it. Let's see. Let's move this over. If this would just move for ya boy. All right. So if we go to the trading chat room, this is how I operate my Discord for the most part. I try the best to do my charting before the market opens. And this is what I said. I said, good morning, PI University. Got my eyes on Amazon, looking for it to come up to the target area for entry to take puts to the downside. So I was waiting for it to come up to this blue area. And once it got in there, I was going to enter puts to come on and bring it back down. Now, if we look at the live chart for Amazon, that's almost essentially what happened. Right here, this first candle of the day, this first candle, it came up. Now, I should have got in right here, but I wasn't paying attention. I was a little bit distracted, and then price came on down, and I kind of chased my trade. I chased the trade I got in. I had to deal with a lot of back and forth, up and down in this area, but eventually it came down into some profits, and I didn't want to waste time. I didn't want to be greedy, nothing like that. Because my entry was so bad and I was already chasing, I went ahead and took profits at 5%. And typically when I scalp, I'm looking for 5 to 10% profits anyway. So that's right in alignment with the way that I trade, but it was a bad entry. And you got to be real with yourself. Even when you have a profitable trade, you've got to be real and tell yourself and understand and know when it was a bad entry or what parts of the trade were bad. And for me today, it was a bad entry, even though I was fortunate enough to still get profits. So if we go back over to the Discord, I always like to show where I entered and where I exited. So I have a specific channel that just goes over all my trades. So today at 6:45 a.m. So I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm in Cali. And so I got in at 6:45 a.m. My average trade is about 1,000. My average trade is about 1,000, give or take a few dollars. I got in. I was in the trade for what appeared to be almost 30 minutes, which is a bit long for me. Most of my successful trades that are scalps are typically 10 minutes or less, but I was able to get 5% profit. I'm not greedy. I'll take that $54 and go. Most people are not making $54 an hour. So to make that in 30 minutes, I'm very happy. Don't need to be greedy. Don't need to have a grand slam or a home run every time. All right, let's see if we got any more comments. All right. I can join Discord. Link is expired many times. Try new links I don't receive. Okay, so this is for somebody who's saying they joined the Discord. So first and foremost, let me say thank you for joining the Discord for sure. Now, you should have received an email from LaunchPass. LaunchPass is the platform that I use that automates the joining of the Discord. So are you saying that the LaunchPass link isn't working? Because LaunchPass will give you a link to the Discord directly. Are you saying that you went to LaunchPass and it doesn't work? Mangal Karim, are you saying that? Just want to make sure I'm giving good customer service. Are you saying that the LaunchPass Discord doesn't work? Are you saying that the link from LaunchPass does not work? Because that's the place where you want to go, right? So let me see if I can bring it up to give you guys an example. So if you join a Discord that uses LaunchPass to connect the two, right? That uses LaunchPass to sign people up, and then it directs new members to the Discord. There's a place where you got to go on LaunchPass, right? Let's go to LaunchPass. and I want to show y'all. I think it's LaunchPass Customer Portal. So if you do LaunchPass Customer Portal, it will give you the link to any Discord that you signed up with. Let me press that. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is the right one. That might not be it. Okay, okay. Where is it at? We want to go to LaunchPass. All right, I'll give you another example. Give me just one moment. I have the link right here for you. Let me go over here and let me go to, I think it's here. All right, boom. So if you go to the LaunchPass customer portal right here, if you go to the LaunchPass customer portal, let's click this. So right up here, I'll bring this down a little bit. If you go to launchpass.com customer port or launchpass.com/portal, you will be able to get the link to the Discord. See, it'll take you to and it'll show you all of the Discords that you're signed up for. So this is where you want to go to get the link to the Discord. Mangal Pakarin. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. My bad if I'm not saying it right. But you want to go to launchpass.com/portal, and then it will take you to any Discords that you're signed up for. So that's where you want to go. Hopefully that helps. All right. All right. So yeah, just touch base with me, man. Send me a DM if that doesn't work. Reach out to me. But where you want to go is launchpass.com/portal, and it will take you to any Discords that you have signed up. You just got to make sure you put the same email that you used to sign up. That's all you got to do. All right, Mocha Ray, thank you so much for the likes, the gifts, all that. We're up to 3.4K. All right, let's see who's tapped in with us on the top viewers, and we'll get back to some charting. So, Chris, I see you, Corey, Givens Truth, and San. All of y'all, thank y'all for rocking with me. And again, big shout out to Will Matthews 911 or 991, excuse me. But let's see what's going on with the markets. Let's see what's going on with the markets right here. Okay, so we're currently on Amazon. Amazon is looking like it still wants to come back down into what I plotted out. There was a gap right here that needs to, oh, this was my, this was actually support and resistance that I had charted out. But there, so I usually do my support and resistance with orange. Let's go ahead and change that to orange. So here's our support and resistance zone that I initially saw with Amazon that was coming down. So at the end of the day, if I would have had high tolerance with that trade, I could have stayed in it through all this, which would have been very, very painful. But I already took my profits and done. Yes, indeed. Richie Finest, thanks for coming through. Fly Flex, what's up? What's up? Let's run those likes up, y'all. Share the live, share the live. And let's see if we find anything else. Let's see if we find any more plays. Now, me personally, when it comes to my trading strategy, I am a one and done. So anything that I'm going to be looking for now is going to be potentially for tomorrow. All right, this would Walmart. We're currently looking at Walmart on the 30-minute chart. Now let's go back some days. Look at Walmart has been operating in this pricing channel. And that's pretty much it, man. My trading is very simple. Very, very simple trading. I draw out pricing channels or trend lines. I draw out or I chart out support and resistance. And then I just want to see where it gets in and where it goes with that. So here, back in what appears to be the middle of June, June 13th, Walmart officially started this pricing channel. And you can see it comes down and it bounces up. It goes to the upside up here. And then it comes down to some swing highs and swing lows. And I've been kind of trading Walmart for the past week and it's been good. So I would technically, we're still early in the day. We still have the trading day left. Half of it is left. If I was still looking for a trade that I hadn't entered, I would possibly enter Walmart here for calls to the upside. And then you want to be aware that yesterday's high acts as a resistance zone, as we can see here with this white line. You guys see this white line right here? It was resistance, resistance, resistance. So it would be a quick, easy scalp. I wouldn't be looking for a crazy long move. I would get in right about here, right about now, and take calls to the upside. Now, the only reason why I'm not taking this trade is a part of my trading plan is one and done. If my first trade of the day is profitable, if I'm green, I'm done for the day. Now, it takes some discipline and it does take, willpower just to walk away, but I don't want to risk giving money back to the market. Definitely not in the same day, for sure. It's one thing I can't stand when I double dip and I ended up giving all my profits back to the market. So I'm at a stage now, y'all, where if I get profits on my first trade, one and done. let me hold on to these profits for at least a day. I don't want to give them back to the market the same day. Not at all. All right, let's see. Let's see. Realize AP says, let's work, bro. No BS. Let's work for sure. For sure. Just hit me in the DM, man. Let's tap in. All right. Chris says, do you have favorites or do you just look for opportunities? Great question, Chris. I appreciate you asking that. So I do have favorites. I do have a daily watch list that I cycle through. And if I don't find any setups or plays in my daily watch list, then I'll go look for my setups and other tickers. But here is my daily watch list for the most part right here. I call it the daily trader. I'll check Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, even though these are typically more expensive. QQQ, Roku, Shop, Spy, Walmart. There's more. There's a few missing. Oh, here we go. XLE, XLF, XOM. I need to add Amazon. Make sure we got Google, Disney, all these, Apple. This is my daily watch list. So these ones I go through and I check every single day for any potential setups. And if there are, then of course I'll just stick with these. But if there isn't, then I might go look around the market to see if there's another ticker symbol that fits my setup. But you just have to be aware, right? One of the good things about focusing on your favorite stocks or focusing on your watch list is you know how they operate, you know how they trade, if they're slow, if they're fast, if they have a lot of volume, you know how the price typically moves. And sometimes what happens is if you find your setup on another ticker that you're not used to trading, then you kind of got to get aware of how that ticker symbol trades. You know, for instance, I used to have Starbucks on my watch list, but I never really traded it. And then finally, one day I traded it and it moved slow. And I didn't realize for the most part, Starbucks has some pretty slow price movements at time. And what happened with me was I got into the Starbucks trade. It was moving very slow. I got restless and I got impatient. And then I ended up trading something else. I ended up taking a loss because I was trying to force a trade or force a move. So that's what I would say to that there. But there is my daily watch list just to show y'all. Now, I do have a video. If you want to know how I build my watch list and what I'm looking for, if you go back to my YouTube channel, I did not mine. I have two YouTube channels. So here's one. Curtis G24 is one of them. And then my other YouTube channel is based off of my Discord, which is Passive Income University. And I did a free options trading webinar not too long ago. So let me go here and let's go to Passive Income University. And I want to show y'all really quick. This is what you want to look for. So I just did this free options trading webinar. All right. So I just did this free options trading webinar right here. And it's a 2-hour long course. And in this course, I go over how I build my watch list, what I'm looking for if I'm going to add a company or a ticker symbol to my watch list that I check every single day. So this is going to be up for free. And then maybe within the next week, I'm going to take this down. It'll only be available for members of the Discord community. So please go ahead and check this out while it is up for free. And I go over how I build my watch list. Let's see. Any more comments? Any more comments? Okay. Mangal says I didn't get the login link. Okay. All right. All right. Mangal, I will reach out to you and I will send you a link to the Discord. I'm not too sure what's happening or why you're not getting it through the Launchpass customer portal, but that's where you want to go is the Launchpass customer portal. So you want to make sure you use the same email that you signed up with. So send me a DM and let me know what email you signed up with, Mangal. Send me a DM and tell me what email did you sign up with, and we'll get you in there. For sure, Chris. For sure. For sure. All right. LOL says I lost 100 on SPY today. Oh man. What did you trade? If you want to go over it, let's go over it. Oh, Mangal says 19K loss on SPY. Jeez. Oh my gosh. So you guys, let's go take a look at SPY and let's see what happened. Were you guys trading zero DTEs? What kind of trades were we doing? Were we looking at puts or calls? Chris, thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Chris. Yo, Shine, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. So we got a few people in the audience that were saying that they took trades on SPY and they had some losses. Now, I didn't trade SPY, and oddly enough, even though SPY is a part of my daily watch list, I haven't traded it in a long time. Let's see what's going on. So how did we do on SPY? Why did we lose on SPY? For sure, Chris. For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for coming through, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We got a gap down here. Eventually, that SPY is going to want to close. That happened on June 11th, going through June 12th. So I wonder when SPY wants to come on down and close that. But there were two people in the comments that said they traded SPY today and they took an L. So did we trade calls or puts or what happened? Give me some details about your trade so we can go in and kind of do some charting on it. All right, all right. So in the meantime, until I'll just start doing my own charting. Like I said, I haven't really charted SPY in a minute. I haven't traded it in a minute. But what the first thing that my eyes see, of course, we're looking at the daily chart. So if you're new to looking at charts and candlesticks, we're on the daily time frame. Now, what that means is each one of these represents 1 day of time. Now, I usually will start with the daily and work my way down. Every now and then, I'll start higher and work my way down, but I usually start right in the middle at the daily. Now, the first thing that my mind is seeing is that there's a gap right here that needs to be closed or will eventually be closed. So the first thing I want to do is I want to chart this gap. That's the first thing my eyes is looking at. And just to give y'all a little bit of background, I normally only chart and trade things that my eyes can easily see. If my eye doesn't easily see it, then I really won't chase after it in terms of charting. So right here, we've got this gap. I mark my gaps with white shaded areas. But then I also see that we've been in this kind of upward trend for a minute now. So since about May 31st, SPY's been in an upward trend. So now I want to draw that trend line. I want to draw this trend line on SPY, something like this here. And then the next thing I want to do is I'll draw a top trend line on top of that too, so we can create a pricing channel, if you will. So something like this, really quick, nothing too crazy. Of course, I'm doing this for the beginners. This isn't for the intermediate or the advanced. All right, Jason Terry, Alejandro Vela, thanks for coming through. We just hit 5K likes. I'm taking an LMPLTR. I think it pops up again. Who is that? Can't really see your name. I'll take a look at PLTR in just a moment. We had a few people that were talking about SPY. So the first thing I do is I start with the daily chart. I see we got a gap right here. I'll draw some rough trend lines on the daily chart. And once I have my rough trend lines drawn, then I break it down to the 30-minute chart. I come down to the 30, and then I just tighten it up as need be. But as we can see on the 30-minute chart, look, SPY has just been operating in this pricing channel. Come up here, it bounces down, it comes back up, and it kind of comes down. So depending on how you were trading, you might have need some patience, especially if you were a day trader. Comes up, tried to kind of come into this gap. So right now in this moment, anything could happen, right? I could be wrong, but if I was to be looking for a trade, since we're kind of bouncing off of this line here, I would be looking for calls to the upside. Then I will mark out some support and resistance as a profit target, and I would leave it at that. That's what I would do. But this is the SPY on the 30-minute chart. Yo, Chris, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So for the people that mentioned that they traded SPY and it didn't work out too well today, I'm looking for you guys to drop how you traded it. I'm looking for you to drop it into the comments. All right. So that's essentially how I at least would do my charting on SPY. Start with the daily chart, draw those rough trend lines, break it down to a lower time frame, see if we can see some patterns, some consistency, some swing highs, swing lows, and then just trade it from that. And then I would just be a cautious or aware that there's a gap down here that needs to be filled. LOL says, I think I was patient. Let's see. Let's see. Back road NASCAR. My biggest L in learning forex trading right now is being patient and waiting for the trade I want. Yes, I'm glad you at least know. That's step one. At least you know where the improvement opportunity or area is, and you understand, okay, that's where I got to improve. Now, you're probably already doing this, what I'm about to say, since you already know where your improvement area is. But I want to make sure the number one thing, anybody who's been a part of my lives that I always tell people to do, especially the beginner traders out there, is to log your trades in a trading journal. That's key. So put a 1 in the chat if you did some trades today and you put it in your trading journal. Give me a 1 in the chat if you took some trades today and you put it in the trading journal. Yeah, did I mean? If you took trades today and you put them in your trading journal, put a 1 in the chat. So here's my trading journal, just to break it down for y'all. And so here are some of the things that I have on my trading journal, right? Let me move this over a bit. So, of course, we've got the entry date. I've got the exit date. What symbol did I trade? What was the type? Was it calls or puts? What was the style? Let me come up to here. What was the signal time if I used a specific signal time? Did I stick to my predefined setup and trading plan? What was the pattern type? And then I also have a column here for my notes, my lesson, and my rationale. Like here was one of my recent trades. Remember your lessons. Trading in the first 30 minutes of the market open is extremely volatile. Be aware that trading in the first 30 minutes of market opening is extremely volatile. So look, I've had this on here twice. So this is something that I got to improve on because I typically get into trades really fast if my setup presents itself. And that's usually within the first 30 minutes of the market being opening. And so sometimes I get shook out of a trade. Sometimes I get stopped out. And what I have to remember is that it's very, very volatile in that first 30 minutes. I also have a column here for emotional intelligence. That's the number one thing you want to make note of. How is your emotional intelligence? Were you greedy? Were you revenge trading? Were you peaceful and patient? These are things that you want to put in your trading journal and then put your improvement opportunity and your area of success. So I have all that there. All right, all right. Back Road NASCAR says I keep it down on Trade Locker. Glad you're showing an example though. For sure. Yes, as long as you're using something. So salute to you, bro. You're already there. You're more than halfway there. You know what you got to do. You got it logged in your trading journal. So now you just have to implement some mechanisms to help you stick to your task and stick to what you got to do. Now, there's a few different mechanisms that I've used, but you've got to be real with yourself to know whether or not you're going to stick with it. Sometimes, and me and my girl, we talked about this. Sometimes what I do is if I take a trade that I know I shouldn't have, depending on how much money I lost, I'll actually have to give her that amount of money. So let's say I took a trade that I know I shouldn't have took and I lose 250 bucks. I got to give my girl 250. I'm not trying to do that all the time. I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean? So that's one mechanism that I use to keep me on top of like the trades that I should be taking and making sure I stay away from trades that I shouldn't take. Another mechanism that I use is a one and done. But now when we talk about being patient, right? When we talk about being patient, one thing, if I don't know if Trade Locker offers this, I know TradeZella has it. One thing you want to go back through and see is look at the average time of your successful trades versus the average time of your not successful trades, right? So go and look. If your average profitable trade, you're in the trade for 30 minutes or more, then that'll kind of tell you a baseline in your mind. I need to be patient. These trades take at least 30 minutes for the way that I trade. Or if you see, okay, my average profitable trade is 10 minutes or less, it'll also give you like a caution sign or a warning flag if you're in a trade and now you're at 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That'll also be a warning sign. So when we talk about patience, one thing that I would implore you to do is to go back and look at the average time of your successful trades versus your ones where you're not successful. All right, Blaze24, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for the likes. We're running it up. We're running up the likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Okay, okay. For sure. For sure. All right. So right now we're looking at SPY on the 30-minute chart. It's been operating in this kind of pricing channel for a little bit. It's got a gap down here. Like I said, now if you were rocking with me, look at this. We got somewhat of a little push up. It looks like the day's moving a little bit slow. But when we first looked at this, I think it was down here somewhere. So we moved up a little bit. So like I said, I would be kind of looking to take calls, especially if this ends as a bullish hammer, which it looks like it will. Now, one thing we want to keep in mind here is this white line, it represents yesterday's low. And if we look yesterday or the previous day, not yesterday, but Tuesday's low, of course, acted as a level of support. Now, if you're new to trading, one of the things that I say and that I believe in is that support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support. So, what are we seeing right now? Now that we've broken below yesterday's low, this may be an area of resistance now for SPY. We may see this as an area of resistance, which is so far is turning out to be. Is turning out to be an area of resistance. Now, this is one of the indicators that I use on an everyday basis. And so I'll show you guys what it is. So the one that I use on an everyday basis is this one right here, the SSS 50% rule indicator. And what this does is it automatically marks out the previous day low, the previous day 50%, so what was right in the middle, and then it marks out the previous day high. And the reason why I use this indicator on a daily basis is because at some point during the day, the market is going to respect that level. So what we see here, right? What we see here, where's the start of the day at? The start of the day was right here. So at the beginning of the day, it used the previous day high as a bit of support for those first few candles. It broke below, and now it's using the previous day low as a bit of resistance. So this is why I keep this indicator on here, because at a certain point, one of these three levels is going to be observed or is going to be acknowledged in the price. Okay, all right. Back row NASCAR, thank you for the follow, my guy. Steve T1170, thank you for the follow. All right, Chris says, what platform do you use for trading? All right, Chris. So primarily right now, I am using Robinhood, and I am gradually working my way over to be primarily in Webull. So I'm in Robinhood, working my way to Webull. But I'll show you guys, right? I'll show you, because I always like to show the receipts. So you can see here's all my Robinhood screenshots, primarily in Robinhood. I put my trade confirmations, everything like that. At the end of each week, I put all my trade confirmations into the Discord. Robinhood, 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 Robinhood. All right. And I want to show you. Keep going. Keep going. Where are we at? It's been a minute that fast. And then here's Webull. So like I said, I'm in Webull a little bit. I'm adding money to it bit by bit. Once my Webull account size gets to a certain limit, I'm going to start primarily trading in there. It does have some taking to get used to, but I do trade Webull from time to time. The last time I was in there was about a month ago. So I try to trade Webull at least once or twice a month as I build up my position over there. But for the most part, it's Robinhood. Even though Robinhood is really good in terms of the user interface for beginners, as you develop your trading skill set, you're quickly going to find that Robinhood doesn't have all the features and functionality that you need for options trading. And eventually you're going to get to the stage where you want trailing stop loss, where you want hotkeys or hot buttons, things where you could just tap and click and you get in and out of your trades very fast, or you buy X amount of contracts very fast. You know, you can have Webull set up to where you buy 10 contracts at a time, or 20 or 50 or 5. You can have all of that pre-set up with just a click or a couple buttons and you're in and out. And of course, Robinhood doesn't have that. So I'm working my way over there bit by bit. All right. Keenan says those QQQ puts hit today. That's what's up. Secrets to trading. Thank you for the follow. I see you. I appreciate you. I just realized that my phone is about to die. And oddly enough, I don't have a charger anywhere nearby. Let me see if I can reach this over here. Okay, I couldn't reach that over there. All right. Got the charger, y'all. Got the charger. Phone was about to die right now. That would have been all bad. That would have been all bad. Okay. Things that we got a little crooked. But Chris, I hope that answers your question. Let's see who's rocking with us. All right, all right. User 369-164-233-8689. Thank you for coming through. Porge Trich. I think that's how you Poor Get Rich. Poor Get Rich. Thank you for rocking with me. There's Keenan, Mr. Ortega, Skulls True, Ismail, Mayo Avaye. Thank you for being in the live. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for rocking with me. All right. Keenan says, what's your trading strategy? All right, Keenan, I'm not too sure how long you've been in the live, but we've been going over it all live, all live. So it's very simple. All I really trade is trend lines and support and resistance. And so I'll go over my trade of the day one more time, and then we can go back through and do some other examples. But I'll go to my Discord. We'll go to the trading chat room. All right. So before the market opened, this is what I said. I said, good morning, PI University. That's my community. Got my eyes on Amazon, looking for it to come up to the target area for entry to take puts to the downside. So this is what the chart looked like before the market opened. We can see that Amazon has been operating in this downward trend within this pricing channel. So it comes down here, bounces up, comes up here for like a swing high and comes down here to some downward support, comes up a little bit, again, comes up. And so what I was saying is I was looking for price to come into this area to enter for some puts. So now if we go back over to Amazon, now this is the live chart and how it looks for today. So this candle right here was the first candle of the day. This was the very first candle. Amazon came up into this area. Now, where I slipped up today was I missed my entry because I wasn't too sure if Amazon was going to continue to keep running up and up. So when it did come back down, I got in around here somewhere and I was kind of chasing. I had to deal with a lot of this volatility, but fortunately, it came back into profit. And once it got into profit, because I had such a bad entry, I went ahead and just took my profits and left. I didn't need to go crazy with it. And as we see, that was the best move because Amazon, at least on this 30-minute chart, is starting to consolidate. So all I used was the trend lines as walls, if you will. I use them as walls and then let that come on down. Yo, poor get rich. Thank you for following. All right. Coley says, do you use level 2 at all? Not yet. I'm learning about it, but I don't use it as a part of my daily strategy. I do believe that there's some value in there once your eyes get used to understanding the data and understanding what's coming through. I signed up for it a while ago when I was in Robinhood and on Webull, the level 2 data, but I just hadn't leaned into really using it. But like I said, I do believe there's value there. I'm going to learn about it, teach myself, get a mentor or whatever the case may be. I am going to start incorporating some of these different things, but at this very moment, the level 2 data is not a part of my daily strategy. All right, all right. Thank y'all for the questions. I love it. I love it. But to for sure, poor get rich. I got you. But to Keenan, I hope you're still in the live. I hope that answers your question. My trading strategy is very simple. I use support and resistance, and I use trend lines. And I'll use the trend lines to create pricing channels or broadening formations or wedges, whatever you want to call it. As you can see here, we see that price has kind of been operating in this area. It looks like it's starting to break out today. So we may need to redraw these and change these, but it's looking like price wants to break out right in here. And we can see that with some past trades, right? Let's go look at some former trades. We'll go over some more examples. Um, Here we go. This was on June 17th. I did my charting for 4 tickers. We had Walmart, Amazon, Nvidia, and Target. The key was Walmart as it was approaching all-time high. Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. What was it? Was it the 17th? Yesterday was the 19th. I know I traded on the 18th. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see, because I know I put it in, but I'll show you guys Walmart just to show you the trading strategy. So the same thing right here. We can look at Walmart. It's been operating for the most part in this kind of like pricing channel or this wedge, however you want to define it. I kind of feel like they're all the same thing to me. But back here on June 13th, this is why I originally charted that Walmart entered into it. And then as you can see, we kind of bounce off this bottom, come to the top, bounce off the top, come on down. And that's essentially kind of what I trade. Let me bring this back over. That is what I trade. And so my last Walmart trade, let me go back and show y'all. And we can just kind of chart it out. We go to Curtis G24 trades. And this was on the 18th that I was in Walmart puts. I got in at 6:31. So literally the market was only open for 1 minute. And let's go back and look at the chart on 618 at 6:31. And it was 618 right here. Here's the 618. Let me blow this up so we can see it even more. Here we go. So this was the puts for Walmart, right? This was 618, 630 candle. I got in on puts. It came on down to here. I went ahead and took profits and I was out. So like I said, I'm more of a scalper. And this was the trade, Walmart puts. I typically use about 1,000 for each trade. That's how much I trade with. Not a big trader, nothing like that, but it was a good trade here because I ended up taking my profits. I know this looks bad on here, but it was at about 28%. So roughly 300 bucks. Very happy with that. Can't complain. But I hope that gives you an idea, Keenan, to the what's the name? All right. All right. Let's see. What was your trading strategy? Got that. Good, good, good. Ruben Seba's laughing. I can't see what he's laughing at. What minute do you look at the chart with? Now here's the funny thing. Yo, Hunter, thanks for coming through. Hunter, Jada Carter. Yo, Hunter, I thank you so much. My guy Hunter, big salute. Now here's the thing. Even though I'm a scalper, I don't use the lower time frames. And I say this all the time, right? I don't use the 15 minute, I don't use the 10 or the 5 or the 7 or the 1 minute. I know primarily that's what scalpers like to use for their time frame charting, especially for their entries. My style is I start off with the daily time frame and then I work my way down to the 30-minute, and I really only look at the 30-minute chart. Now, the reason why I do that is not because there's anything wrong or I'm not knocking the lower time frames, but one thing that you really have to do with trading is find what naturally works for you. That's where you're going to thrive. Don't try to force yourself to do things that don't naturally go with your mind frame. And I know that might seem a little counterintuitive, but there's certain parts of trading that your mind just understands and sees a lot more clear. Now, what I mean by that is when I'm looking at the 5-minute, the 1 minute, or the 10-minute time frames, it's too much noise to me. It's too confusing. And a lot of times I get shook out of my trades or I enter too early. A lot of my trading performance just goes down the drain when I'm looking at a lower time frame. For some reason, when I'm looking at the 30-minute chart, I could just see everything more clear. I could just understand what's going on. I could see the price action a lot better. So I start my charting off on the daily time frame, and then I use the 30-minute for my entries and my exits and things like that. For sure. No problem, Keenan. No problem at all. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's been a dope live so far. I appreciate the questions. Black Bag Therapist, thanks for coming through. Yoshi Yoda says, hi, what indicators do you use to show the arrows on the bars? All right, so I don't have any arrows on, oh, these arrows right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you straight up. Let's start off with a nice clean chart with nothing on it. We will go, and for some reason, my mind is saying, I want to use something a little different, but let me not even complicate it. Let me just stick to where we was at. We will just stick to where we was at. We'll go back to Walmart. So the indicator that shows you these arrows is known as the Strat Assistant. And the Strat Assistant is a trading style or trading methodology. It's a trading technique that was created by a guy by the name of Rob Black or Rob Smith. His Twitter handle is Robin the Black. His name is Rob Smith. Unfortunately, he passed away last year, but he created this trading style called the Strat. And essentially, a part of the Strat Assistant is determining full time frame continuity. And so these arrows basically tell you that the price of this stock, and more specifically, the price of this candlestick, where the price was at, was above or up in time frame continuity. And basically, what that means is it was above where it started. So if you see a candle with a down arrow, that just means that it was below where it started, right? Based off of the previous candle. I hope that kind of makes sense. The long and short of it is the indicator is the Strat Assistant, which is right here. And the Strat Assistant is going to tell you full time frame continuity. And so depending on what time frame you have this on, it's going to take that time frame and go up and let you know if you have full time frame continuity. So what this is telling me is on the 30-minute chart, we're up. Over the past hour, we're up from where we started. Over the past 4 hours, we're up from where we started. In the last day, we're up. Over the past week, we're up. Over the past month, we're up. And over the quarter, we are up. And so that's all that this tells me. And I use that in conjunction. I don't necessarily use these numbers from the strat. I don't necessarily trade the strat anymore. That's where I started as a trader. So for beginners, it is a good beginning place to start because they have a strat cheat sheet. So just let me know in the comments if you want me to bring up the cheat sheet and we can go over examples. But it does tell me if we're mainly bullish or if we're mainly bearish on these different time frames. And so if I'm looking to enter like some calls, this also gives me a little bit of confidence because we're also full time frame bullish. All right, all right. What about the numbers below the bars? So the numbers below the bars are tied to the strat as well. It's in that same indicator. And the numbers are just simple correspondences to what direction that candle was based off of the previous candle. So this 2 right here, 2s are directional. So 2s mean that the price either went up or it went down. That's it. It's very simple. And so what this is telling me in this current candle, price broke above the high of the previous one. Same thing here. Price broke above the high of the previous one and it didn't go below. Now, anytime you see the number 3, what this tells us is that price went below the low and it went above the high. And so that's what creates an outside candle. That's what that means. An outside candle means that the price went outside the high and the low within one time frame or within that candlestick. If you see a 1, that's an inside candle. And so if a 1 is an inside candle, that means price didn't break the high below it or above it or before it, pardon me. It didn't break the high before it, and it didn't break the low. It's pretty simple. I leave it on there, A, to pay homage to where I started off as a trader, and B, for the full time frame continuity to let me know if the price is mainly bearish or if it's mainly bullish. All right, Yoshi Yoda, thank you for the follow. All right, my guy, JC Montana. JC Montana wants to take a look at Disney. Let's go take a look at Disney, and let's see what we can ascertain, what we can chart on the Disney. Let's see what we can chart for Disney. Shout out to JC Montana. Let's see. Let's see. We hit 10K likes exactly. 10K flat. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, KT says very smart. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, KT. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got Disney up. We did chart it the other day. And I don't know. I think you were on that live. JC Montana. Weren't you on that live where I was talking about Disney? What I'm looking for specifically is for Disney to wait. Is this today? Yeah, it is. Okay, so what I'm looking for Disney is for it to break this trend. We're on the daily chart. What that means is each one of these candlesticks represents one day. We're currently on the daily chart, and I'm looking for Disney to break this trend to the upside for at least 1 to 2 solid days. When it breaks this trend to the upside for 1 to 2 solid days, I'm then going to go in and do a little bit of charting, and I want to chart something like this. Something similar like this on this blue line. Something like that. And so once we break over this line for 1 to 2 days, I'll go in, I'll fine tune my trend line. And then when it comes to the bottom of the trend line or when it touches, I'll be looking for an entry for calls. But until we break this downward trend that we've created so many days ago, I'll be hesitant to enter calls, even though we're right here. We're right here at this point where it looks like it wants to break through, but this is where we want to have patience. We were talking about that a minute ago on the live that we need to exercise patience. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Disney to break this trend, and then I'll take those calls and write it on up. That's what I'm thinking. And then, of course, you'll chart out some support and resistance as some potential profit targets, but that's what I'm waiting for. All right, D Sal, what's up, C? What did you do to get that screen look? I'm not too sure what you mean. Are you talking about uh they call it the canvas. The canvas is the background. So are you talking about how the background looks, or are you talking about the actual candlesticks? Give me a little bit more info, man, and I can break it down. Mando, thank you for the follow. Appreciate y'all. All right, let me know, D Cell, your display. You're talking about to have me on the screen? Help me, man. Help me, help me. There you go, G. I give enough 700 likes. Thank you so much, Hunter. Big shout out to my guy, Hunter. Appreciate you, man. Every time he comes through, he shows love, man. I appreciate you more than I could ever say in words, man. Big shout out to Hunter. All right. So yeah, I know a lot of people ask me how was I able to get my face on here without having 10,000 followers on TikTok. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, and it's right here on the screen. If you look at the bottom, all I do is I just open up a Zoom meeting by myself, and then I turn my camera on, and then I just squeeze everything down into the screen so you guys can see it on TikTok. That's all I do. That's all I do on here. Yep. Now you guys can't see it, but I literally have my phone right here. My phone is literally right here pointing at my computer. So I just worked it out over time so that I can have a nice little visual display for you all. But step one is to start a meeting with yourself on Zoom, turn on your camera on your computer. And then step two, point your actual phone at your computer. You have to bring it in a little close so you can't see your phone on the screen. And that's it. Hunter says you spit facts. That's what's up. JC, how soon before we hit Disney 105? Remember, I think you asked me that the other day too, Hunter. I was just replaying the live. I think that was you and a couple other people that was asking about how soon we hit 105. And like I said, man, the first thing I would do to determine that was to look at how long it took Disney to get from 105 to where it's at now. So here is 105. The last time Disney was at 105 was May 15th. So it took over a month for Disney to get to where it's at now. So that you could kind of say, hey, anything could happen. I remember saying this the last time we were live. Disney could hit 105 today. But for the most part, what you could kind of do to give yourself an idea is just go back and look at how, on average, how long does it take for the stock price to travel to a certain point. So the last time Disney was at 105 was over a month ago. So it could take Disney a couple weeks to get back to 105 unless they have some type of catalyst, right? Some new news comes out. They use AI or they got a new partnership or they buy another company. Unless there's some extreme catalyst with either Disney or the market, it may take Disney a couple of weeks or a few weeks to get to 105. So my plan would be once we break this trend line to the downside, if we have 1 to 2 solid upward trend days, let's just say by Monday or Tuesday of next week, we break out of this, right? If I was to look for calls to the upside, especially to enter into Disney calls, I would look for calls that expire probably like in August, right? Because we're pretty much in the last week of June. And if it takes Disney over a month to do this kind of travel, then I would at least want to buy a month and a half, 2 months on the expiration on my calls. All right, all right. That's what's up. Yeah, yeah. So same thing. We're still in the same play, JC. Nothing has really changed too much. Like I said, we're still just waiting for Disney to break this. I want to see it break it and get free. Shake through here. That's what's up. All right. Glad I was able to answer that for you, D Cell. Yeah. So for anybody that wants to know how I'm able to get my face on my live without having 10,000 followers, all I do is I open up. You can see down here a Zoom meeting with myself. I turn on my camera and then I squeeze everything down so you guys can see it on TikTok. And then I just point my phone at my computer, and literally my phone is right here. I just bring it close enough so you don't see the phone, because I feel like if you guys see the phone, it kind of like takes away the magic, like a magician. I don't want y'all to see me put the lady in the box before, you know what I mean? I don't want to see, I don't want y'all to see the mirror before the what's the name. So that's how I do that. JC says your memory is incredible. I really only know that, JC, because I just rewatched that live. And so when I was rewatching it, just taking some notes, I remember us going through that. All right, Yoshioda says, I really like your teaching, brother. Out of everyone I watch, this is the best. I appreciate it, man. And there's a lot of great teachers out there. Like, I'm not a gatekeeper. If you guys want somebody who really teaches really, really good, outside of myself, one of my all-time favorite traders is a trader by the name of Kia Kili. I'm going to show you guys his Twitch channel. He typically goes live 3 times a week, almost every single day. But he's someone else who really breaks down all the thought processes and the rationale and everything when it comes to trading. So he only goes live on Twitch. That's the only thing though. But here's his Twitch channel, and this dude is super super dope. He breaks down all the rationale, all the logic behind his trades. Very simple to understand. He's another great teacher that I like. There's a young lady by the name of Tori Trades. I don't know if y'all have heard of her. I think she trades commodities like gold and oil and platinum and silver. Tori Trades is a great teacher as well. Super dope. All right. Yoshi Yoda says, "Do you go live on YouTube so I can subscribe?" I'm gonna start going live on YouTube. Pardon me. I am gonna start going live on YouTube pretty soon. I'll show you guys my YouTube channel. Let me bring that up for you. I do have 2 YouTube channels. I upload content to them on a daily basis. Let me go over here so y'all can see. Oh, we'll search for it. So, uh, my main YouTube channel is Curtis G24. It's my same screen name. I don't know why it didn't come up. That's odd. That's wild. Come on, YouTube. Don't play me like that. But here you go. Here's what it looks like. Okay, so here's my YouTube channel right here, Curtis G24. This is my main one where I put up my daily content. Like I said, maybe next month sometime, I'm going to start going live on YouTube. And then the other one is Passive Income University. Now, this YouTube channel, it does have content on here, but it's mainly used for my Discord community. I have a lot of exclusive videos for them. And so there's another one as well. So if you want like the daily content, you can go to Curtis G24. And then if you join the Discord, we have an exclusive YouTube channel here where a lot of these videos are for the community, just some exclusive content that I do for them. All right, D Cell says, where should I start your Discord member to benefit as a new Discord member? All right, so if you did, I think you did join. So thank you so much if you did. If you did start and if you joined to learn options trading, I actually just created a options trading playlist with all of our videos. So let me go to, where is it at? New traders. All right, so we have an options trading playlist right here as a beginner, and it goes through these 4 courses that I've created that I have uploaded. So there's market money, understanding stocks and the basics of investing. And then we've got contract money, options trading for beginners. Then there's option mechanics part 1. And then there's option mechanics part 2, tools for the trade. So if you're brand new to options trading, brand new, that's where you want to start. We have this playlist with those videos there. I also have some assessments and some quizzes. So you can start there. And then, of course, you can ask me any questions, but that will give you a good gauge about where you're at, where your options trade. Or if you're already doing options trading and you join the Discord, just ask me some questions. That way we can, hone in on exactly what you need to focus on, that's where I would go. Yoshioda says, what is your Discord? So it's Passive Income University. It's in my bio on my TikTok profile. Heather Odom, thank you so much for the follow, Heather. I appreciate you. I see you. Yoshioda says, do you have the links? Yes. So if you join, or if you go to the link in my bio, it's going to take you to LaunchPass. And when you sign up through LaunchPass, it's going to give you the link to the Discord. Hunter says, have you ever heard of the app Is Griffin the buys the stock you stock in the community product you buy? It's a little choppy on that, Hunter. Try that one more time for me, my guy. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank y'all for the likes. All right. I think somebody asked about another ticker. I'm going to jump through there. It's been a minute since I joined. Yeah, I think it has been a minute since you joined, DeSal. So send me a DM. Reach out to me so we can make sure you get what you need for the Discord. Just send me a DM. Let's see. Dejan Chin, I only mess with Disney in August. Yo, Dejan, are you still in? We would like to get some of your insight, some of your wisdom. Why only mess with Disney in August? Dejan, let us know, my guy, please. You might have some good info. One thing I like about doing TikTok lives with you all is that there's so much good knowledge and wisdom that we all share. So we got somebody in the comments saying that they only rock with Disney in August, which is interesting because before he said that, I was talking about getting contracts for August. So very, very interesting. All right, all right. Okay. It's an app called Griffin. I haven't heard of that before. I got to do some homework. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank you. We are running them up. I have not heard of that app before. So, Hunter, I have some homework that I need to do, that I need to look into. To my guy, DeSal, go ahead and make sure you shoot me a DM. I want to make sure I take care of you, my guy. All right. All right. All right. Let's see if we can find any more plays. Let's see if we can find any more plays right quick. Let's see. Disney's still looking like it wants to break through. Tesla broke below this trend line. I drew 2. It looks like it wants to come down and here somewhere. I don't see anything. So just a reminder, the way that I work, like the way I do my charting is, for me, one thing that has really, really helped is I don't even want to try to force anything whatsoever. If I do not blatantly see the setup and the play just right there in front of my face, I just keep it moving. I need to see it to be super obvious. I know that might not be the best way to go about things, but I just need it to be as clear as day for me. All right, so we already did our one and done with Amazon. Here's Walmart on the 30-minute chart. Looks like it broke above the previous day high and is now using the previous day high as support. I will continue to look at Walmart either tomorrow. What I would like it to see is to come back down here again about this area before taking calls to the upside. Or what we do is, as long as Walmart is operating in this pricing channel that we charted out, I'll just keep extending this as long as it's accurate. You have to be careful not to move it too much from where you originally had the angle or the trajectory, but something like this. And as long as Walmart is staying and operating in this area, as long as we're operating in this area, I'll just keep it. Boom. So like I said, tomorrow, hopefully, if Walmart comes down here and tests this kind of area, we'll take some calls to the upside. Or if we come up here and test the top, we'll take some puts to the downside. Now, Walmart is in that all-time high area, so you just want to be careful with your support and your resistance, right? Look at this. Uncharted territory. Yeah, when you buy products at Walmart, you get part of Walmart stocks. I just got it. Oh, that's dope. That is cool. That is dope. That is super cool. So everybody take note of what Hunter is talking about. There's an app out there that when you buy products at Walmart, it allocates some funds to buy Walmart shares. That is really, really cool. The minimum price is $5. Big shout out to Hunter. Thank you, my guy. All right, Stacy now says SoFi. What's up, Stacy? I didn't see that you were in the building. How are you doing today, Stacy? Man, the last time I charted SoFi, look at this. The last time I charted SoFi was July of 2023. almost a year ago. Let's go see. It's called Griffin. I'm doing good, Stace. I hope that's okay to call you Stace. I don't know if you prefer. I know sometimes when people shorten names, you don't want your name to be shortened. Some people like to be called Michael as opposed to Mike. Some people like to be called Christopher as opposed to Chris. So, my bad. If you prefer Stacy, then what's going on? But I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. All right. So we're looking at SoFi. Let me clean up the chart a little bit. I'm going to remove everything. This is a good one. I haven't looked at this in a long time. And so what I want to do is just chart it nice and fresh. You guys know I like to start on that daily time frame. Let me take off the indicators that I had on here previously. Let's close it all down. And then what I want to do is, okay, I don't even use this indicator anymore. Let me take it off. Let's go ahead and delete that. What else is on here? Don't use that. All right, let's bring that up. Okay, so we're looking at the daily time frame on SoFi. And just like I said, I only look for the things that are the most obvious to my eyes. Looks like we had a gap that was pretty much closed. Yeah, so I won't even really kind of draw that as a gap too much. We are in a downward trend. This is a little tough because I don't see anything too obvious. And SoFi, man, it's come down so crazy. Uh, yeah, it kind of depends on how you want to draw it. I sometimes when the trend lines that I'm drawing are a little steep, it makes me a little cautious. Um, and it's all subjective, right? All this is subjective. Always remember that when you see somebody draw trend lines or they do their charting, most of this kind of stuff is just very subjective. And so don't feel like, oh, this person, they did it wrong or they did it right or whatever the case may be. It's all about what your eyes see and what you believe. But here's kind of like what I'm looking at so far. So the first thing I do is I start off with the daily time frame, as you guys know, and I'll draw a rough trend line, something very, very rough, and then I'll go to the lower time frames and I'll just tighten it up. Regular. We got to clean up this chart. I don't like the way this looks. Head over to these settings. Let's go to the canvas. We don't want the grid lines. Let's change some of this gradient a little bit. We'll put this here. All right, now there we go. Now it looks the way I want it to look. All right. So now that we're on the lower time frame, we had our rough trend line drawn. And what I like to do now is just tighten it up on the rough trend line. All right. So over here, I just want to bring this up so it kind of touches these points. Boom. We have this data already available for us. And then we just kind of move that there. Let's kind of see how it looks. So something like that. That's kind of what my eyes are initially seeing. And it looks like we've got a double bottom on this 30-minute chart. Here's one bottom, and then we got the second one. So this would make me inclined to take some calls or to be long on SoFi. Just mainly because look at this nice little double bottom coming up. Now, what you really want to see is if we break this previous day high, then it would be a strong indication that those calls will run up. So it's kind of hesitant, right? Kind of hesitant. Um, but that's what I kind of see. Now, in terms of an entry, we're kind of like in between the move, right? We've already hit that second bottom. We already hit the second bottom. So you could wait. It would take some patience. You could wait for SoFi to come back up here to this 659, 660 range to enter into the calls. Or if you have another mechanism to help you with your entry, right? You can enter in for the calls because we already kind of hit this bottom. And then you might want to go back to see for support and resistance. I like to have one way back in the day for a support and resistance zone, but at least for the immediate present time frame, we can kind of chart this out and use this for an example. So I would go like right here. This looks to be a bit about of a support and resistance zone. I always put my support and resistance in orange. Boom. And then it's just something like that. But here we are. We only got an hour and a half left of the market being open. So I'm thinking that SoFi is going to come up to the previous day low. And then it'll use this as resistance. That's what I'm thinking. Um, but yeah, we kind of started this upward trend. So you might, I would be interested in calls. I'll say that. I'll be interested in calls. You could wait. It might take a couple of days or a week or so for SoFi to get up here before blasting off. Or if you're confident and you've got another indicator or mechanism that you use to tell you to get into calls, you might want to now. Like another thing that you can use, let's just say that this was truly the support and resistance zone. If we break out of this resistance, maybe a nice retest, or we break above, that would be an indication too to take calls. Just be aware that we've got this previous day low that may act as a little bit of resistance. All right. The only reason why they move in right now, they just came out with a TV show. That's what's up, Dejan. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Disney is really slow with content. They only come out with content on fall seasons. I didn't know that. That's dope. I hope you're still in here, Dejan. I was just doing a little bit of that charting, but it's very interesting. At the beginning of the pandemic, right? There was an active investor that he wrote a letter to Disney, one of those like very active investors that are vocal, and he wrote a letter to Disney and he said, "Yo, you need to stop paying the dividend." I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago, Disney has stopped paying the dividend. And he said, you need to take all that money, which was about like $3 billion in cash that Disney was paying out to shareholders with the dividends. He said, yo, you need to take all of that money and use it to develop more and more content so you can get more and more people to subscribe for Disney Plus. And it was interesting because at the time, Disney had came out with their budget for how much they were going to use each year for creating content, right? And it was funny because Netflix was like, yo, Disney's budget for creating content is what we spend like every month. So this investor was right. He was like, yo, y'all need to catch up with Netflix. Netflix is pouring hundreds of billions of dollars to creating content and constantly getting more and more subscribers and market share. Stop paying the dividend. Use that cash to create new content. So I just give y'all that background because it's right in alignment with what Dejan is talking about. So Dejan, thank you so much. All right, Yoshi says, hi, what indicator do you use for gap fill? I don't use any indicator, Yoshi, for the gap fill. I just, when I see a gap with my eyes, I just go in there and I chart it out and I give it a white rectangle or a white shaded area. So if you're looking at my chart and you see an orange shaded area, that means I charted out support and resistance. But if you're looking at my chart and you see like a white shaded area, let me see if we can find another one. If you see a white shaded area on my chart, like this right here, this is NVIDIA. I just go and I see it with my eyes. Like I can see that this was a gap, right? You can tell that space. A white shaded area on my chart is a gap. So I don't have an indicator that finds them for me. It's just my eyes see them. All right. Thank y'all for running up the likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. But with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to touch base with you. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me, for coming into the live. Of course, I always end my lives with the same thing. If you took any trades today, if you did any trading, make sure you log your trades into your trading journal. If you logged your trades into your trading journal, put a one in the chat. If you did any trading and you logged your trades into your trading journal, put a one in the chat for me. Put a one in the chat if you logged your trades into your trading journal. Remember, that's one of the most important things that we can do is have a record and a history of our trades. That way we can go back and look at what we did right, what we did wrong, and then we can put mechanisms and actions in place to improve. We got a one. Thank you, Stace. Stace put a one. Big shout out to Stacy. She logged her trades in her trading journal. You're welcome, Yoshi, for sure, for sure. All right, y'all, please don't let the day end without you logging your trades. Log them in that journal. And I'll try to tap in with y'all tomorrow. All right, peace.